It is the 28th of July 2025. This is the Social Newsroom. My name is Kate Chisholm. We are live from Nairobi. And of course, today's conversation, we delve deep into politics, of course, civic education, and even more to do with the Kenyan situation, especially in elections. And to join me in this conversation is no stranger to Legal Showdown. The name is Willis Otieno, a constitutional lawyer, a civic educator, and a bold voice of democracy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
Yes?
Yes.
I'm glad to see you too. And of course, I know you have a lot of sentiments on how Kenya is as a state right now, and I'd want to hear where you stand. How do you feel being a Kenyan right now?
I'm hopeful.
You're hopeful?
I'm hopeful, and I'm hopeful. I draw my hope from the people of Kenya.
Yes.
Despite the challenges and the failures of these legacy politicians, William Ruto.
Yeah.
The spirit of the Kenyan people has not died. In fact, they are fighting for the third and final liberation, their economic liberation, where once we achieve it, every Kenyan will be guaranteed a life of dignity.
Okay.
I will be more desolate if the Kenyan people had given up and decided to accept their lot to be the nonsense which legacy politicians are serving them. They've resisted. Okay.
The name is legacy politicians, but there is hope. That's a statement you're leading with. I like to hear that.
Yes.
Now let's take this hope to 2027, the election date. One that you have boldly claimed that is very unconstitutional, August 2027.
Yes.
Now, one may ask, are you trying to rewrite the Constitution or are you trying to rescue it?
I'm rescuing the Constitution.
You are?
I'm a reverend lawyer.
Okay.
All I do is to preach the gospel of the Constitution. And I've always asked, whoever will show me or give me a rational explanation why Uhuru Kenyatta, in his first term, served for 4 years and 5 months as president, I will donate 1 million to a charity of your choice.
Okay.
Uhuru did not serve for 5 years in his first term. Elected on the 4th of March, sworn into office on the 9th of April. Elections were held on the 8th of August 2017. Sworn into office on the 9th of April 2013.
Okay.
Elections conducted on the 8th of August 2017. 4 years, 5 months. Nothing to do with 5 years. I invite any Kenyan to point me to that provision of the Constitution that grants a president, a member of parliament, a governor, a senator, women rep, a 5-year term. It doesn't exist.
It's always four years with a couple of months.
What the Constitution provides is what we call the election cycle. And the election cycle is independent from term of office.
Okay.
The election is a self-executing will. So it tells you that in every 5th year from the last elections, you look for the second Tuesday in August, inside the 5th year. Inside the 5th year.
Yes.
Basic language will tell you, the moment someone tells you you conduct elections inside the 5th year, basic, that alone connotes that that event has to happen inside the 5th year, not outside, not at the end of it.
Okay.
So by dint of that provision alone, that you're doing elections inside the 5th year, there is no argument of a 5-year term.
Yes.
It means it can only be 4 years guaranteed and a few months or a few days. So look at Article 136(2)(a) of our Constitution. Look at Article 142 of our Constitution. Very clear. If we are to count the 5th year, you are told to look at Article 259(5)(c),
yes,
which tells you how to compute years. You compute a year by looking at the date when the event occurred to the eve of the corresponding date. If 9th of August is the date of the event occurred, 9th of August 2022.
yes.
1 year, if you look at Article 259, ends on the 8th of August 2023.
Yes.
That is 1 year.
Already.
Because you are told to count, it is on the eve of the corresponding date. The corresponding date is 9th of August 2023.
Yes.
So 1 year ends on the 8th, midnight.
So we expect the same come 2026 instead of 2027.
So the 5th year,
yes,
for purposes of the Constitution will run from the 9th of August 2026 and it ends on the 8th of August 2027. Now, inside that 5th year, you are told to find the second Tuesday in August. That second Tuesday can only be found in 2026. And you conduct your elections.
I understand this. You've dissected the dates. But now the question goes back to, do you want to take this to court and have the judiciary interpret it or not?
We've taken it to court, and we are waiting for the Supreme Court to invite the petitioners to argue their case. It is quite unfortunate that Martha Koome is sitting on that file, and she doesn't want to call that matter for hearing. And I've looked at the responses by the IEBC and the other respondents who opposed the case. All of them have premised their argument on the fact that persons are elected to serve for 5 years. And my invitation to the court will be this. Read for me the provision of the Constitution that says a president is elected to serve for 5 years. And I will not waste even 1 minute of judicial time.
Yes.
I will withdraw the petition and pay cost. If they read it to me, that provision, I'll withdraw the petition and pay costs.
We're clearly going to stick to the conversation of the elections, and you have been very vocal on, your different views on the election date, but also you have given out your view on the tallying of the votes in Bomas.
Yes.
You've called it a constitutional sin. Now, I wonder, in an ultimate Willis world, what would happen in the tallying of votes? Where would you recommend the tallying of votes to happen?
Not even where I would recommend.
Yes.
As I said, I'm a reverend lawyer.
Okay.
I preach the gospel of the Constitution.
Okay.
I invite every Kenyan to look at Article 138 of our Constitution. What is the scene of presidential elections? It provides, when a vacancy arises in the office of president, every constituency,
yes,
we have 290 constituency as per Article 90 of our Constitution, 89. Every constituency shall proceed to conduct a presidential election. That's the language of our Constitution.
Yes.
A case which I litigated, the Maina Kiai case, conceptualized it, built it, Maina Kiai, Elef Alifa Antirop Kitur, Professor Sianya. The court said polling station results are final, and they're supposed to be tallied at the constituency tallying center.
Yes.
So what should happen as per our Constitution is that when you conduct elections at the constituency level,
that should be
every constituency has a returning officer. That returning officer is supposed to receive the results from his polling stations, conduct an open tallying.
Yeah.
Because how it is done, assuming this is our tallying center, you have the arrow sitting here. The polling stations have done their counts. They're delivering the results.
Yeah.
You have the agents, you have the POs, you have the clerks, you have the security. And you also have Mwananchi who've escorted the results. When the polling station officials arrive at the tallying center, the arrow is sitting here.
Yes.
You go and you hand over. These are our results from polling station A. And he reads loudly, looks at the form, he has the ballot papers and the boxes. They're all there.
Yeah.
Then he writes in the form B. This is the constituency, Mvita constituency tallying form. Polling station A has come, we've entered. The rest go and sit. They keep the boxes. The next polling station comes, polling station B. Again, they hand over. We write. All of us are witnessing.
Yes.
Because there is no counting of votes that takes place at the constituency level.
Indeed.
So as every polling station comes and hands over their presidential results, the process is done systemically. Progressively, you can all see which votes each candidate has received.
Yes.
At the end of that tallying exercise, filling that form 34B,
that should be the final.
that is the result.
So yes.
And
so quick question. So the purpose of you're outrightly saying that the purpose of Bomas is non-existent.
it's illegal. There's no constitutional function of Bomas. In fact, the role of the chairperson of IEBC is found in Article 138(12). And that role is just to finally issue the declaration of the result, not the results.
Okay.
There's a big difference between results
End result.
and result. Result is the outcome, who has won.
Indeed.
Results is what every candidate has received.
Yes.
And why the chairman's role is important in terms of issuing the certificate of winner is that he is supposed to ascertain, based on what the constituency returning officers have done, who has received 50% plus 1, who has met a minimum of at least 25% of the votes cast in at least 24 counties. Because remember, the constituency arrows were only focused on their own constituency.
Yes.
That is what they were telling and announcing. But at the national IEBC, the chairman now has received from all the constituencies. He's been able to do the math, and he can tell who has a majority of the votes. Then the next question he asks, the person with the majority, has he met 50% plus 1? Tick. Has he met 25% in at least 24 counties? Tick. Then he gives that person the certificate of a winner.
Yeah.
That is his role. He should be doing it in a boardroom, not spending over 20 billion at Bomas to set up a rigging machine. When Kivuitu was announcing Mwai Kibaki as president
Yes.
in 2002, do you know where Kivuitu was? He was in the boardroom here at Anniversary Towers.
Oh, I remember, yes.
There was no Bomas. He was doing it from the boardroom here at Anniversary Towers.
So you could say this is sort of a ceremonial
No.
thing we're doing at Bomas. So.
At Bomas, they've turned Bomas to become a rigging enterprise. It's a crime scene. Because they first tell the media, don't announce anything the arrows are saying.
Yes.
That's the first thing they tell the media.
That's an illegality in itself.
They claim it's illegal to try to defeat the provision of Article 10 on transparency. So tell the media, don't announce anything from the arrows. You imagine a media personnel who is present at the polling station, has followed that polling station presiding officer to the tallying center. With his cameras, he has witnessed.
Yes.
He is captured.
And it's live.
And is live. Now he's told, don't announce that result. Come to Bomas, we'll give you a feed. That feed is what you are going to relay to members of the public. Yet, not a single ballot paper in our election cycle lands at Bomas. Not a single presiding officer who touched a ballot paper like this with their hands
Yes.
ends up at Bomas. But you are told, trust Bomas, don't trust the people who...
That's giving a lot of inconsistency.
Exactly. And why Bomas? We must say what it is. Bomas is the place which has been used to calibrate your results. You're calibrating, you're able to see what has everybody gotten across the entire country.
Yes.
Where do I need to play my game? And remember this. In every polling station in Kenya,
Yes.
the number of registered voters per polling station cannot be more than 700 per polling station. The most you can have is 700.
700,000.
No, 700 votes
Okay.
per polling station.
Yes.
There are those polling centers. In the polling center, so for example, if we say the Uru Gardens Primary School,
Okay.
that's a polling center.
Yes.
Inside it, there are different streams. Each stream is a polling station.
Yeah.
It cannot have more than 700 per stream.
Yes.
Now, assuming we are to follow the regulations, polling closes at 5 p.m. On election day. Give them 1 hour to rearrange the room.
Yes.
It means by 6 p.m., they've done the rearranging of the room. Give them 1 hour to start counting the results of president. Even if you're just counting 1 hour to count 700 votes. It means by 7 p.m., there is no polling station in this country that has not finished the presidential vote count. But out of abundance of caution, give them another 1 hour that they are resting. They want to eat first.
In consideration, maybe there were more voters this time or not?
No. I've told you every polling station is 700.
Yes.
We are only dealing with the polling station, not the center.
Yes.
The more voters you have, the more polling stations you create.
Okay.
But each polling station cannot supersede 700.
Okay.
So it means by 9 p.m. of election night, by 9 p.m. of election night, there is no polling station in the whole republic that is still grappling with presidential vote count. The counting has been done. What remains is the aggregation of those results.
To see if they actually are.
No, aggregate them.
Yes.
Polling station A, how many did we receive? Polling station B, just to bring them together to see what everybody has gotten. So what Bomas does, it creates a bird's eye view.
Yes.
That only the Chebukatis of this world have sight of.
Yeah.
They're able to see the whole country. Because by 9 p.m., everybody has concluded.
Yes.
But Chebukati will keep you dancing Tanzanian music for 7 more days.
For a couple of days to determine who really is.
Yet that process had been concluded by 9 p.m. on election night.
We cannot deny that there are always a few irregularities here and there. A polling station could be flooded. There are so many irregularities that could happen on election day.
Yes.
So that allows, the process of Bomas.
So, no. What you should be saying
Yes.
is that if there's a polling station that has not concluded the count, you flag it. That this particular polling station, as you can see, they have not concluded because there was violence.
Yes.
It is reported. They have cameras. In this particular one, there were floods. Elections were postponed. You can see. But you cannot tell me that it is the next day in the morning, the next day after the election night.
And we still don't have results.
And you still don't know what your results are. When America, they were doing the elections the other day.
Yes.
Do you know when they do the elections on the November 20th? By early morning of November 21st,
yes,
the president-elect, based on projections from media houses, will have given a concession speech.
Whether
the loser will have conceded. Do you know when the election management body sits? It sits in December.
After the elections.
Way after. In fact, by that time, the transition process has kicked off. Why? Because they are using the results from every state
Yes.
and every precinct in that state.
In
you can
real time
all
as
see.
well.
In
Yes.
real time, you can all see.
Yes.
And you're able to say, based on this, X has won. So by the time the election management body is sitting in December, the country has moved on.
I could say this confidently, that every constitution has its own lacunas, a few loopholes here and there, but even with the loopholes, there do exist a couple of remedies. You cannot deny that the remedies exist even with the loopholes, because I can hear from your speech, you're very stuck on the interpretation of the law, and that's what you're asking the courts to define. But we cannot miss out on the lacunas that exist and the remedies that exist as well.
You know, our lacunas are not in the law. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Our lacunas are found in the practice.
Okay.
The mischief is not in the legal framework. Your mischief is found in what you've adopted as a practice.
Okay.
Because the law had envisaged all of this. By the time the Constitution, Article 138, tells you to conduct your elections in every constituency, those are the words of the Constitution. Then where does Chebukati or his replacement comes and says, I'm declaring myself the returning officer for presidential elections? Where? Where do they find the legal backing to declare chairperson of IEBC to become a returning officer for presidential elections? It cannot be. The returning officer for presidential elections are the respective constituency returning officers for every constituency. They are the ones conducting the elections in their respective constituencies. And they are the ones who are supposed to make the declaration of the results in their constituency.
Let's talk about the verification of the results, the process of the verification. What should this process entail? Because that's where I think we're having a problem in determining the election night and the election date to verify even these very results.
When you want to verify the results, the verification of results will take place at the constituency level. And how do you do it?
Yes.
Why did we bring the term verification? It was about some presiding officers who will deliver results to their constituencies that are not in tandem with what they declared. So you'll find the form that was used at the polling station is different from the form that is delivered at the tallying center.
Yes.
So we brought technology as a means to assist in verifying, so that at the point of counting at the polling station, once the form 34A is filled, the PO is supposed to take a picture, send the image to the tallying center.
Yeah.
The mischief that these characters came up with is they said, don't send that image to the constituency. Send it to Nairobi, Bomas.
To the famous tallying station.
To the famous tallying center.
Yes.
Why can't this same image be sent to the returning officer at the constituency level? So that when the ballots are delivered to the constituency, because remember, when the PO goes to deliver the results, he has the forms and he has the ballots.
Yes.
So you are using the electronic image, you compare it against the physical copy that is brought. Are they the same? If there is a discrepancy, you have the ballot boxes. You can open and recount.
Yes.
And confirm where the anomaly is. But when you tell them to send them to Bomas, what do they do in Bomas? So you'll find Kanyadiang Primary School sends their results to Bomas. That's in Karachuonyo, Homa Bay County.
Yes.
Immediately, Baragoi Primary School are sent. They start showing you Baragoi. Before you know it, you're taken to Tharaka-Nithi. Before you settle in Tharaka-Nithi, you are given the results from Ainamoi.
Yes.
So at the National Tallying Center, you have different polling stations coming quick and furious that you're not able to tell. Because there are little polling stations from all over the country.
Yes.
Some are sending you alphanumerics, not even images. And they're being posted. In 2017, when they started announcing the results, at 5:01 p.m. at Bomas, that screen was displaying the results of some polling stations. I'm an election expert.
Okay.
I've done elections across the continent.
Yes.
If the law says you close polling by 5 p.m., it is impossible to have results of any polling station at 5:01 p.m. You cannot. Because there's what we call the closing procedures. Closing procedures, because remember there are 6 elections on the same day. You must do the closing procedures for each of the 6, in which it involves taking count of all the ballots that were issued, writing down the serial numbers, the folios, counter-checking against the counter leaf, what remained, noting down the numbers, filling those forms. It is humanly impossible to have any results at 5:01.
Okay.
Closing procedures alone can take you between 20 minutes to 1 hour. Then you rearrange the room to start the count.
Yes.
Then you do the sorting. So when we ask them at Bomas, show us, this is also displaying, show us the images from the polling station forms. They could not. They claim they're using alphanumerics. What's alphanumeric? Excel sheet. So somebody was just filling Excel sheet and displaying to you as your results.
And that is inconsistencies.
Yes, exactly. That's the problem. That is how our sovereignty is undermined.
We need to go back to 2022 because you have mentioned the former IEBC chairman. And the elections of 2022, of course, brought, really shaked up the nation with even questioning the courts if they were actually right. But one of the statements that came out very boldly is that the IEBC chairman was acting like a lone ranger back in 2022. What are your thoughts on that?
That was so clear.
Yes.
Chebukati did his own processes because we had 4 commissioners saying they were not involved.
Okay.
The Kenyan people who had been following the progressive announcement of every constituency results witnessed up to the point when they stopped the public announcements.
Yes.
There were over 28 constituencies which were not publicly announced. The next time, we saw an invitation to Raila Odinga and William Ruto to appear at Bomas at 3 p.m.
Yes.
When the open display that they were doing before had stopped. And you had commissioners calling a press conference at 6 p.m. at Serena, telling you we've not tallied or verified all the results. So that was a problem.
On its own. But moving
And the Supreme Court specifically did find that the commission must function as a unit. They actually condemned the Lone Ranger tactics of Chebukati But they didn't have the courage
Yes.
to now deal with the consequences of what happens if the chairperson becomes a lone ranger like the last one did.
So now we're looking forward to 2027, which I think is going to be the election date. I know.
Why? You don't have
That
faith.
might just happen. But between now and 2026, we have a lot of things to change. What are the safeguards that Kenyans, or what safeguards can we employ or try to input to make sure that this does not occur again? Having another lone ranger of an IEBC chairman, maybe as a puppet or even independent, for this not to recur one more time.
The most important safeguard to an election
Yes.
are the people.
Okay.
You don't even have to pay attention to the commissioners and the chairperson. Once the people own the elections and its processes,
Yes.
there is no deep state or rigging machine that can surmount them. So if the people take ownership of the elections, there's nothing they're going to do. And more so, when you are dealing with an unpopular regime like this one, where the people have defined, the Kenyan people are very clear what they don't want.
Yes.
They've defined it. They're in the process of defining what they want.
Yes.
And when they take control of the elections, by 9 a.m. in the morning of election day, people will be out on the streets celebrating, singing bye-bye William Ruto. Why?
Yes.
Because the overwhelming numbers that will come out to vote for a regime change, there's nothing that IEBC chairperson can do. In fact, Ethocon, as much as people think is a Ruto lucky, he will just be winning accolades. Not because he's competent,
Yes.
but just because the people will have taken control of the elections and delivered their verdict themselves. There's nothing he can do about it to stop it. He will just now be a beneficiary of people power.
I feel like you're speaking of a paradise of a state when this actually happens. But
We were here in 2002.
yes, yes.
Kivuitu in 2002, what did he do?
And we saw how it went down.
No. Because in 2002, people took control of the elections.
Yes.
And they were very assertive and they were very involved. They controlled the narrative. Same as 2005 referendum. It is only when an election is competitive, extremely competitive, that you have the competing teams almost tied.
Yes.
That is when the commission can play games. But this one, the incumbent, is bottom of the barrel in terms of numbers.
There's that, but we have had statements from a lot of politicians saying how they will participate in making sure that this very president comes back. They said,
Yes.
we are going to do
Yes.
everything, we're going
Yes.
to leg it.
Why do
We
you-
cannot ignore
Why
those
do, you
statements.
why do you listen to legacy politicians?
We have to listen to
Are
them.
they not the same ones who were telling Raila in the last election?
No, we
No,
have
no,
to,
just
yes, they
remember.
are.
Did they not say that we'll do that thing
yes, they are.
publicly?
But you see what it has done? It has reduced the confidence of Kenyans on to actually go and vote. They do not want to
that's the
participate
point.
in the elections.
When they say that,
Yes.
they are not saying, it's not about them having an ability to countermand the vote. What they intend to achieve is what you're saying.
Yes.
They want to demoralize the people, not to take control of the elections.
Yeah.
But when the people take control of the elections, there's nothing they can do. All these legacy politicians are going to be swept. The raging floods are going to sweep all of them.
Yes.
He's still doing press-ups. So you must expect them to respond. They are not going to sit back and say, okay, we've lost. They are going to try to demoralize you, demotivate you, that at the end of the day, your votes don't count. It is us with the deep state.
Yes.
That is done to demoralize you. Nobody goes to an election with only one strategy to win it, which is rigging.
Yes.
It will not work. I want to tell you, you imagine on election day, across the entire nation, you have the kind of mobs that we witnessed when demonstrations are called by our young people.
Yes.
Yeah. Those mobs will take control of the elections.
You have faith in them.
And I want to tell you how it will happen.
Yes.
The Kenyan people have defined milestones that they must observe in the run-up to the elections, even if it is next year.
Yes.
We've now cemented that June 25th is Memorial Day
Yes.
for our heroes. So they'll go out to demonstrate in memory of our lost sons and daughters.
Yes.
Then on the 7th of July, it's Saba Saba.
Another national holiday.
Then on the 8th of August, Nane Nane.
Allah.
Then elections will be on the 10th of August. Tell me which political campaign can mobilize against that mood. It's impossible. And when they go out in memory or to demonstrate, you expect these legacy politicians to respond. They'll react, right? So William Ruto's people must go and shoot more. You shoot people in 3 months, 2 months of the elections, good luck. You don't shoot them, more and more will come. You see how he's caught in a catch-22? And there's no political campaign he's going to hold that will attract the kind of attention that Memorial will attract.
I hear what you're saying. You see, back in 2024, the country was very restless. Politicians were not even able to speak publicly.
Yes.
They were scared for their lives.
Yes.
But we have not seen that in the recent past. They're back to their gimmicks, back to their ways, going back on ground. And
Now,
we're even seeing a shift between, you know, the said opposition now to be in government. So I'm seeing that reality that you're stating, and it might not be possible.
no, I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Do a time travel.
We time travel
to the election
2027.
Year. To the election year, not 20, I think all the view of 2026.
Yes.
Time travel to the election year.
Okay.
And these are the events informing the run-up to the elections.
Okay.
Even those politicians who will try to, no politician, number one, will try to speak against that umati.
It's impossible.
Everybody will want to run with the flow. They'll all change their language and their walking style. Because that's where the mood of the nation will be.
Indeed.
There is no survival with someone who the mobs will be saying must go. And that's the point when you call self-preservation. Self-preservation kicks in.
Yes.
And the selfish nature of human beings, and most of politicians, takes the better of them.
Yes.
No one is going to risk his seat by dying with a failing regime. So these milestones that I'm telling you have defined the exit of William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza.
And even with this actual dates, we have seen deaths again and again. And one thing that we have noticed is that the police are no longer independent. I don't know if you agree with
Yes,
that.
they are not. They are not independent. But you know, when you now see the end is here, the end is here.
Yes.
The line has been drawn. Even the police don't live on heaven and they come back here every morning. No, they live within the community. They are not immune to public sentiments and feelings. That's the time when you tell policemen to go and deal with a demonstration, and you see some of them running in the opposite direction. They hear people are on this side, then they go that side. Mchezo wa town. So don't worry about this one.
We need to be worried.
Why?
Police are now behaving like militia.
No.
We cannot
In fact,
ignore
for
that.
the police, what should be our concern now is documenting the atrocities. It's about accountability. Let's document what they're doing. The commanders are going to be called to court. They're going to be tried.
Yes.
That is where the mindset of the Kenyan people should be. And the police are aware. The day is coming. Those officers and their commanders doing these things, they have defined, you know, once, I always say this, in political contestations, the moment you fire the first gunshot and you kill the first person, you are defining your exit.
Already.
So William Ruto and his people have decided to define what their exit will be. And it will be based on accountability. Okay, you're leaving, but we must take stock of the people you killed.
Yes.
They must get justice. So the more and more people they kill, they're just adding to the counts of the charges they're going to face. That's the truth. It may look impossible today,
Yes.
but I've been around long enough to know that when crunch time comes and the arc of justice bends, long as it may be,
Yeah.
when the wheels of justice grind, they grind slowly. But when they turn around, they grind so finely and they deliver justice. So they've defined themselves.
In the process of delivering justice for, sadly, the late Albert Ojwang, you were very bold and accused the DCI, I mean, of perjury in Parliament.
Yes.
What led you to this conclusion, and
It is public knowledge that DCI Amin, when he went to Parliament, he was given the Quran. And he was asked to take an oath,
Yes.
which he did.
Yes.
Once you've sworn by the Bible or the Quran, you are swearing to speak the truth. The offense of perjury is when you lie.
Okay.
DCI, the information he gave to Parliament and what finally transpired are at variance. So it's false. So what do we call that act? In law, it is called perjury.
Indeed.
So he's guilty of perjury. Unless he recants and explains and tell us who fed him this wrong information.
Yes.
So he was acting based on information which was given to him by this particular officer who misled him. That is when you can say you've purged the act of perjury.
Yeah.
But as things stand, for as long as his statement captured in the Hansard remains the way it is, and now what we know to have transpired, he is guilty of perjury. He can't run away from that.
Still in the protest conversation, and also a lot of people in the protest have been charged with terrorism. We're talking about numbers of even 40 plus or even 50 plus people are being charged with terrorism charges. What do you make of this decision, especially by the police and the DPP's office?
You know, DPP is a very useless character. Doesn't seem to understand his role.
Okay.
And he's making a mockery of the fight against terrorism, not just in Kenya, but globally. Because the moment you start charging people casually with the offense of terrorism, you are turning civilian acts to be acts of terrorism. People are acting in furtherance of their constitution.
Yes.
Your response is to charge them with terrorism. I need to put yourself in the minds of the drafters of the laws on terrorism.
Yeah.
Who did they have in mind?
Very dangerous.
They had in mind the Al-Shabaabs, the Al-Qaedas, and the things they've done globally that are serious acts of terror against civilian humanity.
Yeah.
So when you reduce it to a mundane act like this, you are actually diminishing the serious international interest to fight terrorism.
Yes.
And remember, once you charge someone with the offense of terrorism, he has to be listed. So you are advertising to the whole world that Kenya is a melting pot of terrorists. Yeah. You go and charge Boniface Mwangi and you ask yourself why they dropped the terrorism charges against him.
Yeah.
They had issued a public statement they're going to charge him for terrorism. Why did they drop it? You charge Boniface Mwangi, and immediately thereafter, you don't stop at Boniface Mwangi.
Yeah.
Boniface Mwangi, we know where he works. We know the organizations that are associated with him. The ones which may have funded those organizations. They all become terrorists, funders of terrorism.
Yes.
So if it's an American organization, partner that they work with, all those Americans must be charged. Yeah.
Okay.
They are associated with someone who is charged of acts of terrorism. And in their laws across the globe,
Yes.
many countries
Because of association.
once you are funding a particular person or organization, and that organization is involved in acts of terror,
Yes.
you must disclose and you're liable. So you're going to have so many people who, as a consequence of your stupid decision, being dragged to court. Not just even in Kenya, even in their own other countries, to go and face charges of funding acts of terrorism.
So then the question becomes, why do you think judges are allowing these charges to stand?
You know, the main thing is that, unfortunately, the judges sit allegedly as independent arbiters.
Yes.
They don't draft the charge sheets.
Of course.
It is the DPP who draft the charge sheets. Their duty as a court is to listen. But we need courage on the bench, where before you admit a particular charge sheet, you must look at the ingredients, the information that is provided.
Yes.
Does this actually support this kind of an offense of terrorism?
Yes.
So judges need to now also climb down from their moral high horse and interrogate charges before they are admitted. You can't drag somebody from Homa Bay, a rural boy, who the farthest he has gone is Kericho town. You drag him all the way to Nairobi to charge him with the offense of terrorism. You pick this other one from Limuru. The closest he's seen of a terrorist is to watch on TV. Now you charge him here in Kawa Court for acts of terrorism. That makes sense. So judges should ask, okay, who is this terrorist?
The DPP's office, of course, has very senior lawyers who are drafting these charges because the charges come from the DPP's office. Now, the question is, you are a senior lawyer as well. Have you demanded that the people sitting on the DPP's office be disbanded? And then we start.
There is a conversation amongst lawyers that we should start discussing the conduct of the DPP and some of those senior officers in that
How
office.
far is that conversation?
It's still an ongoing conversation.
Okay.
And we do hope that at the right time, a motion should be brought before the annual general meeting of members.
Yes.
To discuss if this conduct is in furtherance of the rule of law. Or they have now turned a constitutional office to become a poodle of William Ruto, to undermine the rule of law. That which they are bound by oath to uphold. That's a conversation that we're having as lawyers. And we should move it to its logical conclusion. People should not hide under their offices to commit acts of atrocities.
Yes.
One thing that we must never forget always, dictators and despots don't succeed just because they are brutal. They succeed because behind them, there is a myriad of professionals who are misapplying their professional skills and knowledge to further these nefarious acts.
Yes.
Like the DPP Gonga is doing right now. Trying to undermine the enjoyment of Article 37 rights by terming those who are agitating for a better Kenya as terrorists. He will also have his day in court.
Okay.
Everybody is defined. You know, we're in that phase where everybody, we are all planting. This is a time to plant.
Yes.
There will be harvest time. And whatever you've planted, when it will be served on you, accept it. When the time comes, when you're called to account, you must do it with pleasure and with all humility. You must accept that portion which the Kenyan people will serve you.
We could say maybe the DPP, or rather it is said that the DPP may be acting under the instructions of the Ministry of Interior, which has said that some of the courts are protecting protesters who may be vandalizing any properties around, and seeing this two government institutions working hand in hand is diminishing their independence.
You know, the first thing is that the office of the DPP is independent.
Yes.
And it's even given security of tenure. The DPP is not supposed to take instructions from anybody.
Of course.
Including Murkomen. So you cannot say that I'm now succumbing to political pressure. That is why the office was made independent. The drafters of our constitution knew that political pressure will come.
Yes.
So they sought to protect that office and to give it immunity and some sense of independence. So it is onerous upon the holder of the office to live true to that which the Constitution expects of him. And I must also say this, Martha Koome in particular, even now she must watch her mouth. Because when she was asked, when she visited Kikuyu law court, she was there saying how these are acts of terror, terrorist act. And when DPP was questioned, he said in his statement, look, even the Chief Justice said these were acts of terror committed against the courts.
Okay.
Hence my decision to charge for terror. Martha Koome should stop visiting courts when they are vandalized. It's not a duty. She's the Chief Justice, not the Chief Administrator of the courts. That should be done by the CRJ. We have a Chief Registrar of the courts, of the judiciary.
Yes.
Who should be doing those things? And when you know some of these issues can land before your courts for hearing, and you're there making comments. In fact, I asked some of the counsels appearing in these matters to call Martha Koome as a witness, to give us evidence where she found these acts of terror she was talking about.
Yes.
Now that she seems to have more information that she can canvass on the media, that is now informing the decision by the DPP to charge innocent Kenyans, young Kenyans, for acts of terror. She has to come out and say, we must demand accountability of all these people. Everybody must account for what they're doing and what they're saying. Just like I can also account for every word I'm saying here. And I must be called to account when I'm wrong.
I hear you. There has been a vote of no confidence from a lot of Kenyans, even going further and saying the judiciary has no spine. And I believe we want to be solution-oriented people. How do we bring back the independence of the judiciary with the one that exists now?
One person who will not be quick, for example, to condemn the judiciary wholesome.
But you just have.
No, I've condemned Martha Koome, not the judiciary wholesome.
The Chief Justice herself, okay.
There are many judges
yes.
within that institution and many magistrates who are toiling day and night to offer justice to the people of Kenya as guided by the Constitution and our laws. So if you condemn the entire institution, you are being unfair to the bulk majority who serve in that institution. We must flesh out where the problem is. And the problem in our judiciary is Martha Koome and the Supreme Court. That's where the problem is.
The whole bench of the Supreme
Court? They are the problem. They are part of the mess.
Okay.
The Supreme Court now has become the death of jurisprudence. You see a matter comes from the High Court to the Court of Appeal. They apply the law as we all know it. Then it goes to the Supreme Court. The logic and reasoning that comes out of it, it beats logic. The Supreme Court does not sit every day.
Yes.
They have a backlog of cases. How? You, who is not sitting every day, the matters that are filed in the Supreme Court cannot even reach 1,000. And yet you have a backlog. From where? What do they do every day? They don't even go to the office.
Yeah.
But we are funding them. They're living off our taxpayers' money.
Yes.
In fact, if you asked me, one radical thing the Kenyan people should consider is to disband that court. They have turned to become gatekeepers of oppression. And by disbanding it, we can maintain that structure of the court. But the membership should not be permanent.
Okay.
It should be, let the Court of Appeal judges elect one of their own. Let the High Court judges, the Environment and Land Court judges, the Labor Court judges, let LSK, let even ISPAC, or we agree.
Yes.
That you elect somebody and we specify which disputes can go to the Supreme Court. So they only sit on a need-to basis. Know that every day somebody is earning a salary as a Supreme Court judge. You ask him to show his workload. Monday to Friday, didn't even appear in court. Yet you have a magistrate toiling here every day, a cost list of 60 matters every single day. And you are demanding of them to give you returns of how they are offering justice to the people.
You're suggesting to rewrite the appointment of judges.
No, of Supreme Court.
And that is to change a little bit of what the Constitution displays on their appointment.
That is my suggestion, that we need to, because what we've ended up having, the Supreme Court of Kenya has become what the Court of Appeal used to be.
Yes.
It has become a gatekeeper of the executive. When something is not working, Kenyans thought by creating the Supreme Court, it will work. It will deal with the challenges which the Court of Appeal had posed.
Yes.
My suggestion is this experiment of the Supreme Court, as presently constituted, as fashioned, is not working.
Yes.
We try something different. Why is it not working? People are guaranteed security of tenure, right? They will work there as Supreme Court judges until they reach age 70.
Yes.
They don't have to go to work. Yeah, they don't go to work. Ask them for their worksheet for the last 2 months.
Yes.
How many times did the Supreme Court of Kenya sit? What did they hear? How many backlogs cases do they have pending in that court that they're not hearing? Nowadays they hear they even hear cases which I believe the Kenyan people didn't even have in mind when they were creating that Supreme Court. They deal with inheritance cases.
Yes.
And most when the quantum is high. Why? Why not that poor lady's inheritance case, succession case? Why, when they think that the estate looks fat, they can give you now audience?
They have priority to what benefits them.
It seems.
Is that a claim you're giving?
That is what can be the only logical conclusion, that they may be having some interest, monetary or otherwise, in some of this. Many a times when poor Kenyans try to go to that court, they're told you don't have jurisdiction.
Yes.
But then you see some strange ruling coming out. Some rich man had appeared, or some rich dispute has landed in that court. Now they have audience. They can hear it. Why? When we came with our constitution, people had hoped that gubernatorial and member of parliament election petitions will end at the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
6 months, 6 months. High Court 6 months, Court of Appeal 6 months. Nowadays, Supreme Court. Why? And they've fashioned a clever way where they can sit to hear those petitions. They've become a Court of Appeal.
Okay.
They're not Supreme Court anymore.
Well, we cannot ignore the fact that some senior lawyers, including Nelson Harvey, have called for the removal of the Chief Justice and the entire court. Now the question is, are you saying you're in support of this?
We may not be in agreement as to the motivation behind Harvey's call.
Okay.
But we're in agreement, I'm in agreement with them on the continued operation of that court as it is.
Yes.
Whatever motivates them, I may not be part of that conspiracy or even be aware of it.
Yeah.
But at least to the extent that I've seen the kind of justice meted by that court, it is time that we relooked it. It's not serving the people of Kenya. And this has got nothing to do with the last election petition.
Oh.
I'm focusing it purely
on
their primary conduct and how they've behaved when disputes go before them.
Okay.
Look at the Appropriations Act bill, the Finance Bill.
2025.
2024.
Yes.
2024.
Yes.
The Supreme Court gives an advisory opinion. Budget must include both estimates of revenue and estimates of expenditure. That is what a budget is. An advisory opinion from the Supreme Court.
Yes.
People go to court and say, okay, here they've done the budget. It only has estimates of expenditure. Where are the revenue estimates? So we are using your advisory opinion.
Yes.
It must have both. Now they have done one without both. There's some assault. And try to justify that actually it's not necessary. And yet the Constitution says, no, it must have both. That's why it's called a budget. If I told you, for example, now budget, you'll ask me, I'm budgeting with what? You must know how much money you expect.
Of course.
Then you decide to budget it. How am I going to spend it? So you start with the revenue, income. Then you put the expenditure, how you're going to spend it. Here we only have expense with no budget. And the Supreme Court says it's okay. Is it really serving the Constitution? It's not.
It's even inconsistent.
Yes.
Yes.
And they had previously made an advisory opinion affirming that constitutional provision. So it exists to serve the executive. We've seen so many progressive decisions made by the High Court, Court of Appeal, land at the Supreme Court. You're even ashamed as a lawyer to advise your clients using Supreme Court decisions. So who is it serving? And I invite the Supreme Court judges, if they listen to me, they need to have a retrospect.
Yes.
Do your own internal introspection and ask yourself, are you serving justice to the people of Kenya?
You've mentioned the finance bill, and one of the biggest issues that we've seen with Kenyans claiming is that the Kenyan debt keeps growing and never paid back. You made claims that the Kenyan debts are artificial, that the Kenyans' current debt are personal loans taken by individuals, that whatever Kenyans are being tasked to pay or constantly being reviewed to pay is not what is actually true.
Let me tell you, Kate.
Yes.
I'm a reverend lawyer.
You've repeated that.
I'm guided by the law and the Constitution.
Okay.
Your Public Finance Management Act, the laws of the Republic of Kenya, specifies when you can borrow. You only borrow for development. I want to build a road here, a bridge, a hospital, a school. Development, project, a dam.
Yeah.
And for you to borrow, you must get parliamentary approval. Correct?
Yes.
We, as Safina Party, our party leader, Jimmy Wanjigi, commissioned a forensic audit of our debt books.
Yes.
And we discovered that you have so many loans that have been taken without following the laws of the Republic of Kenya.
Okay.
There is no parliamentary approval, and there is no development project that they were financing. Why should we pay for that loan? If somebody took a loan without following the law, If somebody gave a loan to Kenya, allegedly, without following the law, why should the Kenyan people, the sovereign, pay it? Because the sovereign came up with a law and said this is what is going to guide us, how we relate amongst ourselves and with others.
Yes.
You only borrow with the approval of our representatives in parliament. So in the period of the forensic audit, this is what we discovered.
Yeah.
We listed down all the revenue, tax revenue, from the people of Kenya, 2013 to 2023.
Yes.
Total revenue from our taxes, what we Kenyan people gave out as money, 13.3 trillion. Then we also looked at our expenditure minus debt, remove debt payments. The entire period, and this is what is called the primary balance sheet.
Yeah.
All expenditure were totaling 14.6 trillion. So revenue, what we collected from our tax money for the 10 years was 13.3 trillion.
Yes.
Our expenditure was 14.6 trillion. The difference is 1.3 trillion. So if we were borrowing money to bridge the deficit, in the 10-year period, we should have only borrowed how much? 1.3 trillion. Very comfortable. Now, you go to central bank and the National Treasury, they're telling you our debt portfolio is 11.5 trillion. Okay, you start asking. Okay. Every month, Treasury releases statement of actuals, revenue, and expenditure. Actual,
Yes.
what we've received and what we've paid. So we went and looked at all the payments, debt payments.
Yeah.
Our debt payments, money we paid out as debt, was 5.7 trillion
Okay.
in the period. Then we went to look at the Appropriations Act budget. How much did Parliament approve for you to borrow? Parliament approved that you borrow 2.4 trillion.
Yes.
Why are we at 11.5? Is this debt legal? Our Parliament only authorized borrowing of 2.4 trillion.
Yeah.
We've paid 5.7 trillion, which means we've overpaid what we approved.
Yes.
But while at it, you are still telling us that we owe 11.5.
Couple of inconsistencies there as well.
That is why we say as Safina Party, we'll never pay. We will not pay Odia's debt.
Okay.
And when you trace part of that Odia's debt, I'll give you the example of Eurobond 1. 2 billion US dollars. That is 260 billion
Yes.
Kenya shillings. $1 billion, when people are making noise, it was traced. 650 million used to pay an old loan. Confirmed. Okay.
Okay, that's done.
The balance, 350, transferred to central bank, exchequer accounts, consolidated fund. Received 1 billion US dollars accounted for. Good. It was 2. Where's the other one? Much noise was made. JP Morgan, Federal Reserve, SWIFT is released. The SWIFT is showing money is leaving JP Morgan. It ends up somewhere in Qatar. And the account holder is redacted.
Yes.
Not like the earlier one, which was not redacted. So you're telling the Kenyan people to pay that Eurobond. And our administration as Safina, no, we will not pay. This year, this financial year, based on the projections, we'll collect 2.5 trillion. Debt finance is 2 trillion. Ask yourself why every day government increases their taxes, charges, and levies. Why they are now not willing to pay for school capitation. Why they don't want to meet the healthcare services. It's because they're spending all this money that we are paying on debt finance. As Safina will say, we are not paying.
I understand that. You are saying that some of these debts may be fraudulent, personal, and
Yes.
even the paying back is inconsistent.
Yes.
But what would you do? Because this was, you did a forensic audit, and this was an independent forensic audit. This was not mandated by the government or by the international lenders. How do we come out of something like this? Because we have to pay them off regardless of the situation.
That is the mistake you're making.
But that is the narrative.
No, you're making a mistake when you say we must pay them all back. We are the sovereign. The Kenyan people are the sovereign.
Okay.
And those debts are sovereign debts. Correct?
Yes.
The sovereign said you can only borrow in the manner provided by the laws we've given you. So you only borrow for development.
Yes.
So you international lender or you domestic bank that was lending money to Kenya government, where is the prospectus that indicates which project you are financing? That's number one. Number two, where is the parliamentary approval that authorized the taking of that loan? Because even as a lender, you must do your due diligence. When somebody walks into your office and tells you, I'm from the Republic of Kenya, I'm the Minister of Finance, or I'm the President, yes, you must ask him, okay, where is the instrument that allows you to borrow this money? You're not a king, you're a president.
Yes.
It's a monarchy. A republic is governed by the law. So show me your parliamentary approval. They should have had their own legal departments that will do due diligence on this Republic of Kenya.
Yes.
Telling them, yes, Kenya, president is allowed to borrow money, government, they borrow for development, and they must get parliamentary approval. So bring for us the parliamentary approval. If they refuse to do that due diligence, why should the Kenyan people carry that burden? We will not pay. We shall not pay. And we are going to save 2 trillion. Do you know what we can do with the 2 trillion?
A lot.
Funding education here from primary to tertiary will cost us slightly less than 500 billion. So we have 2 trillion, we are not paying debt.
We'll have a lot to...
Shift share,
yes,
the cost of running that entire program is around 170 billion. Free healthcare to everybody. So we have 2 trillion we've saved. We are able to pay for healthcare for everybody.
I feel like now you're running down the manifesto.
No, I'm just giving you tidbits of what the consequences.
What could be done.
Yes. Because Kenyans are not paying enough attention to debt, if you ask me.
Okay.
It is always choking this country.
Yes.
And my frustration, even with these legacy politicians, they don't want to discuss this. They rather discuss tribe.
Especially in detail as you are.
Yeah, that's my frustration. And I want Kenyans to, this is, even if today, William Ruto left or is removed, I assure you in 6 months' time, whoever is elected will be saying must go. Unless they have the courage and conviction to understand what the problem is. And as we are saying, the problem is the economy. It's the economy, stupid, as James Carville used to put it. Okay? And when those young people you saw in Parliament last year,
yes,
walking towards bullets, they are being shot at and they are walking towards bullets. They are not doing it because of rule of law.
no,
They're not doing it because of extrajudicial killings. These are people who are crying the economic pain. So the next administration must deal with this economic pain. And there is no way you will deal with this economic pain without looking at the debt situation. I've just told you next year, we are paying 2 trillion Kenya shillings going to debt finance.
yes,
Almost 80% of your revenue
it's going to be.
is going to pay debt. And you expect to provide social services to the people. You cannot. The people will still go out to demonstrate. And you'll be forced to kill them. So, as a Safina, we are very clear outset. The greatest expenditure item of your books, your revenue, is debt finance. We are going to confront that elephant.
Okay.
That's the elephant that we want to confront and kill. We will not pay any legal debt. And we'll deal with the consequences. And we're ready for the consequences. Which one of them I've told you? We will be 2 trillion richer as a country. We are able to finance free education from primary to tertiary. We are able to provide, from the money saved from paying these illegal debts,
Yes.
provide free healthcare services to everybody across the entire country,
Okay.
not just even a cluster of diseases.
Could we say that this is part of your manifesto
Yes.
for Safina Party?
Yes.
You are vying as deputy president?
Yes.
Okay.
Jimmy Wanjigi is the candidate and his running mate. And we are about the economy. That is our only interest. It's the economy and empowering the people. These policemen you are talking about,
Yes.
who kill our people, they kill our young people. Understand when the policemen, the history of the police, when the Mzungu came here, he came as a company. The company owned Kenya as an asset.
Yes.
It was land belonging to a company. The company employed askaris. The work of the askari was to protect company assets and property. When the Mzungu now took over as a Kenya, made Kenya a colony, they turned the company to become what? The government. The askari became the policeman. So the mentality of the police today is to see the citizen as the enemy. They are protecting the enemy, the company from the enemy.
Yes.
But the Kenyan people want a police to serve them. It's a service. So how do we break this mindset where the police should stop seeing themselves as protecting the company assets from the people who they perceive to be the enemy?
And instead should be protected.
That's why they can easily shoot people.
Okay.
Comfortably. Do it. And they've done it. What do we need to do?
Well, the police outrightly say that they serve the government that is in position.
But that is the problem. They don't serve the government. They serve the people. And we are going to make sure they serve the people as Safina Party. We are going to make sure in every police division, those police OCPDs should not be appointed by the national government.
Yes.
They should be elected by the people. People will vote for their own division commanders.
Yes.
The people in charge of security in that division. And that elected OCPD will be answerable to the people, not to a legacy politician in Nairobi. In every police station,
Yes.
every police station in this country, we will have a local community oversight committee composed of residents. They elect a committee, the people of that locality, that has a right to go and walk into a police station and inspect the cells. Ask why so-and-so has been detained. Is he recorded? What is his state? Any physical injuries? Has he been taken to hospital? Why not? They have the right to inspect the armory. Has any firearm been issued?
Normal Kenyans now.
What do you mean normal Kenyans?
No, everyday Kenyans cannot have such mandates.
Why are you limiting our people?
I'm not limiting. You see, that could encourage, any vigilante to decide, we want...
I've said the Kenyan people will elect their local committee.
Okay.
So this division, where we are now, this falls under Mudangari police station.
Yes.
You have to tell me the residents of this area
Of course, there are...
cannot constitute a committee.
There are elders who can come together.
Even just the people of this place saying we are setting ourselves a committee of 12, we have a right to go to Mudangari police station.
Okay.
And just to make sure that things are being done according to law.
I understand.
If a policeman, for example, is given a gun to go and patrol, and he has come back with spent cartridges,
Yes.
he must explain. I was issued with this firearm. I expended the following bullets. These are the circumstances in which I used the firearm.
Yes.
What is provided in the Police Act and the standing orders. And the committee is able to take custody. Today, what do we have? Police go out and shoot. Unlimited.
IPOA come out with a statement?
IPOA appointed by the same legacy politicians. We are about giving power to the people.
I understand.
And I believe this can be threatening.
But we need to be careful. As much as you're giving power to
Tell me the danger.
Vigilantes could exist. They would pop up.
If the people in this locality have turned themselves to a vigilante, that they are going to oversight their police, then they deserve that vigilante because they have elected it. And I do believe when you put Kenyans in their numbers to do something for their benefit, they will not choose the worst of them.
Of course.
They will go for the best. This argument, I had it sometimes back in my home county.
Okay.
When they were setting up local committees for health centers.
Yes.
People are saying, those local committees, we are going to run down the health centers. Today, some of the health centers, in fact, most of them, the committees are working very efficiently. They are able to get medication. They are able to account for every 100 shillings that patients pay to access services. They are able to get basic services. So it's about turning the police from being a force to be a service.
Okay.
And when the Constitution provides that the police shall be subject to civilian oversight, they are subject to civilian authority. we must find a way to bring the civilians who they are serving to oversight them. And one way that I am proposing, let the civilians in every police locality constitute a committee that can oversight them. Today, go to Central. The police coming back from patrol, no one even knows how many firearms they were issued with, how many bullets were expended, and in what circumstances. Those are the things the oversight committee will be looking at. You are given a firearm, you expended bullets, ammunition. This is the report. Circumstances justified or not. Go to Central today, you'll find somebody who has been arrested and been detained there for 5 days, 10 days, not taken to court. Why? An extortion racket.
Yes.
He's putting pressure on him to settle some civil debt. Is that what we want in this country?
Of course, oversight is very
Go to the cell every Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
How many of our young people are arrested here just for walking and for breathing?
Them, yes.
Just to extort them. Early morning on Saturday, how many phone calls do you receive of people asking for cash bail? To extort. The charges are flimsical. They don't even end up in court. You cannot say that the police is serving our people today. They are not.
Yes.
They are officers who are serving the people. But the system they are operating in makes it even impossible for us to receive that actual service that we desire from them. That is what, as Safina, we are going to turn it upside down.
I want to go back to the Safina party itself. Jimmy Wanjigi has been said, and there are claims, you know, both online and even when you engage with a lot of people, that he could be an economic hitman. He has served in previous governments and has benefited very well from engaging other governments to participate economically with our country. And yet you are standing next to a said economic hitman, all alleged.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
Number one, Jimmy has never served in any government. He's never held any public office.
Of course.
He was a businessman. And if you're a businessman, you're allowed to do business. If you can get government business, fine. But do it with integrity and prudence.
And you believe he worked with integrity?
Yes, and I'll give you examples.
Even with the debt in cards?
No.
With the debts in cards?
No. Jimmy,
from his said business?
Jimmy never did a single project from the time Uhuru Kenyatta became president.
Before that?
Before that was the Kibaki years.
Yes.
And that debt that Kibaki left us with was 18 shillings out of every 100, 18%. That was very sustainable, comfortable.
Still not yet paid?
No. It could pay for itself. Okay. I'll give you an example. Take Thika Road, for example. A project which was part of the consortium that was putting up.
Yes.
32 billion Kenya shillings. They built that road as a consortium. What is the multiplier effect of that road? I want you to start by asking, what did they charge per kilometer for that road? And what was the World Bank estimates for building a highway? Their cost was below the World Bank estimates.
Okay.
The accepted market rate. Their cost was lower. That's why I believe they won part of why they won it. That's number one. Number two, look at that road and its impact. Estates like Mirema, Ruaka, at the time when they were breaking ground, an acre of land on Thika Road was going for 500,000 Kenya shillings. Try today. An acre, you're lucky to get at 50 million. You've seen all those new estates.
Yes, and malls.
Have come up, and
yes.
malls.
Yeah.
Just because of that project. So he was a businessman who was about value addition. I'm doing this road to change the norm. And that's permissible if you're a businessman. But he has also equally said he's not going to do any single business with government when he's in office. And even not just him, his family. Too bad for them. That's a sacrifice everybody must pay, even my family. You must pay a sacrifice. If one of you ends up in office, you can only do private professional work, but not government business. So the unfortunate bit about Jimmy is that people try to define who he is. And he's not had occasion to explain himself publicly.
Well, he has several times.
He's tried to speak about, but now more and more people are listening. Before, not many people had listened to him. How many people, for example, knew that he was part of the consortium that did Thika Road? And what was that project? 32 billion.
Yes.
Look at how it has changed lives. If we were to do that road from Mombasa to Malaba, Kisumu, similar Thika Road, take it to that highway, what will it do in terms of impacting lives?
They
At the time, the cost was around 200 billion to do it.
Yes.
When Uhuru became president. And what they were arguing over was, why are you spending government money to build a choo-choo train from Mombasa to Nairobi, 350 billion,
Yes.
when you can do a road at 200 billion, Mombasa to Kisumu and a fork to Malaba? You're going to open markets, bridge, distances. I can comfortably live in Kisumu and work in Nairobi. 3 hours I'm in Nairobi. Yeah. That was the magic
Yes.
of what Timmy was proposing. Uhuru thought choo-choo train was better. In fact, his concept of SGR was supposed to be purely a private enterprise.
Yeah.
Not a single government money was meant to be used on that. If anything, the users of the train were going to pay government rent
Yes.
every month. But they put you at 670 billion from Mombasa to Duka Moja. What do you have to show for it? 670 billion, Mombasa to Duka Moja. Compared with 32 billion, Nairobi to Thika. Who has had ultimate positive economic impact on lives?
Okay, and clearly you're in a lot of defense of...
No, not
Safina
defense.
Party.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Okay.
If there's something that I'm not saying that is true, bring it. We'll discuss. It's an open discussion. It's a debate.
We have a question from social media. How is it possible that after so much that has happened, don't you think that the people have lost trust in the system? That even seeing Safina Party participate or wanting to participate in these elections, what would be different? We've already lost so much hope.
People have lost so much faith
Yes.
in the system. That's true. And legacy politicians have lied to Kenyans for far too long. They've manipulated them. They've lied to them. They've abused them. They've misused them. They've done all manner of wrongs to the people of Kenya.
Okay.
And it is naturally expected that some may lose hope. Our duty as Safina Party is to tell you, don't lose hope.
Okay.
We have to change the game.
Okay.
And how are we going to change the game? We are going to change the game that our political engagement will not be with legacy politicians. It's going to be with the people. You may ask me, for example, when I say we not pay odious debt, is it just stories of Jabba, like Ruto used to say?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. One thing that we are very clear about.
Okay.
So we have said we are not going to pay the odious debt.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
William Ruto increased VAT on fuel to 16% because he needs to pay that illegal debt.
Yeah.
So as we've said, we are not paying it. We are going to sign an MOU with the people of Kenya. Our coalition agreement will be a coalition with the people.
Okay.
And we'll be saying, from the 1st of October, the 1st October after we are sworn in, don't pay VAT on fuel, or we are paying this much, 4%, as VAT on fuel.
Yes.
Who pays VAT? It's the people, not government. Right?
Yes.
So, from the 1st of October, the people of Kenya, when they're doing their fuel payment, pay less by the amount we've agreed. It's power in the hands of the people. They pay less by that amount. Adjust your pump price to reflect the commitment. It is not about us saying, we will give you.
Yes.
Safina Party, we are not about giving people anything.
Okay.
We are about people getting empowered. It is the people of Kenya who makes a donation to the state to provide for social services.
Yes.
So, fuel alone, you imagine if you had to reduce the price of fuel by 16%, what you're paying as VAT. How much are you going to impact on people's lives here?
Yeah.
Families that today are reduced to plow using hand jembes because they cannot afford the price of tractor plowing.
Yes.
Kids are now forced to delay going to school because they must join part of the family workforce to go plowing.
Yes.
Why? Because you're charging 16% fuel on VAT, VAT on fuel, people cannot afford to hire tractors. Now you're going to release those kids to go to school. The price is going to go down.
Yes.
And it is not us giving the people. It is the people saying we are paying less by 16% because we had a political commitment, a coalition agreement that provided that we are not going to pay 16% VAT on fuel. So power is in the hand of the people.
And that is what Safina Party intends
That is what
to do.
Safina Party will do.
Okay, let's deal with the current government and the current president. We've had him speak recently, and he's saying that he's the agent of destiny for this country. Amidst everything, he seems to remain defiant of the ground or the temperatures in ground, saying that he is the agent of destiny. What do you think comes next for Kenya when you have a president who is this defiant?
No, he's the agent of destiny for real. And he's for real.
Okay.
And his destiny is to open the eyes of the people of Kenya, which he has. He served his purpose.
Yes.
The Kenyans that you're dealing with today are not the ones legacy politicians were dealing with before.
Yes.
These new Kenyans are more empowered, they are more informed, and they are more interested in getting involved in their governance. They've understood that these legacy politicians are not our lords. People in public office are meant to serve us. So yes, that was his destiny. And now he must finish it by leaving office. Leaving office is going to leave office, by the way. That's not an issue.
Okay. Then I think it would be only honorable to ask you to say something to the president directly.
If you really care about Kenya, the only thing you can do is to define your exit. You can choose to resign, wait to be humiliated at the ballot. But between William Ruto and the people of Kenya, it's done. It's broken beyond repair.
Well, that's our time today on the Social Newsroom. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, it is the Social Newsroom. My name is Kate Trira. Thank you and good night.